Kal Halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, to the house of David that shall be risen up in the days as in the days of the old. And over here doing a video, on tea. This herbology video is a basic introduction on first, not on the properties of tea itself, but on just knowing that not all tea is the same, because you got this damn devil Esau, who has everything contaminated. And even if you get something organic, there's some level of contamination. But as we always say, use wisdom and try to get the best you have, and if possible locally grown, or you can even grow your own herbs. There's certain herbs that are not too difficult to grow, like mint and chamomile is very easy to grow, lavender. But we'll get into that subject another time. Right now I want to focus on, because through the health, one of the main things that I push on brothers, is stepping their herb game up. And the herb game is very deep, and it can get a little complex, but in reality it's really simple. And there's a lot of reading to do. Okay, there's a lot of knowledge to acquire, but you take it step by step, and really, depending on whatever ailments you have. And one of the best ways and simple ways, to take these herbs is to extract the phytonutrients and its chemicals, and its healing properties, by boiling it in water and making a tea out of it. Okay. And you can get some from the aroma. The aroma itself, has therapeutic effects, and sipping the tea, whatever tea, because the tea is basically medicine, and you can drink it on the daily. For most teas, there's no such thing as overdosing. Some teas, women got to be careful, because they cannot take it while they're pregnant. We'll get into that in another topic, But for the most part, teas are a good addition to include in your diet, okay? Because there are trace minerals. You can't just drink, you can, but water alone is not enough. You need juices. You need some lemon in your water. You need these micronutrients, and tea helps a lot. Tea is a good way to get these micronutrients and get these healing properties, these micronutrients, and hydrate, okay, and cleanse your liver and your kidneys and your blood. But the problem with this, with Esau, is that everything is so tainted. You really have to do your best to get your best through the spirit. And when you acquire whatever you think is your best, pray over your herbs. Pray over their herbs. If you know the Hebrew, which you should know the Hebrew after being in this for some time, pray in the Hebrew, okay? And let the Spirit guide you. Let the Lord, guide you with His hand. We do the best that we can, because unfortunately that's why this damn devil gotta go. It's gotten so difficult, to get heirloom seeds, natural non-GMO seeds, and be able to grow your own herbs and get fresh produce, period, if you can grow your own herbs. And then even if you can grow your own herbs, hypothetically speaking, according to your living situation, it can be difficult, because we live this, we're in slavery, so we live this fast-paced lifestyle, and it becomes difficult to tend, to gardens and be herbalists and farmers and shit. And that's why we got to get the fuck out of here, man, because if it was up to me, I would love land, all right, property, and be able to grow vegetables, herbs, fruit, you know what I'm saying? But even if I had that land, that wouldn't be really possible, we're in hell, man. We're in hell, we're in slavery, these damn FRNs, trying to make these damn FRNs take up a lot of time. So that's how this devil has it, where we're constantly bombarded with slavery, and then we're too tired, then people want to turn up and get drunk and get high and go party and go shake their asses and shit, right? And it becomes easy to get distracted with the nonsense because of the stress. Okay, so our people are prone to cooperating with the stress of life in a destructive manner, because it is easy and is what they know. and that takes away from focusing on healing, okay, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai with these magnificent herbs. But without further ado, let me get into the main theme of the video, which is these damn pesticides, man. So beware what you buy, you know, and not all tea is the same, all right? And stay away from that fucking Lipton.
We're crashing a party. The afternoon tea kind of party. Hello, tea lovers.
Hello, Tom.
How you doing? You giving your pinkies a workout? Yeah. About to reveal to these tea connoisseurs what they and you don't know about the world's most popular drink. There's no question Canadians love their tea. How many cups a day for you?
5 to 6 is an average.
6 to 8 cups.
Sounds high, right? Not when you learn we drink nearly 10 billion cups of tea a year. Many big brands promote their tea as healthy and natural. But are they really as pure as we think? Turns out, maybe not. We've discovered the Canadian Food Inspection Agency has been testing various teas. 3 years ago, 1 in 4 had pesticides at levels above what's allowed by Health Canada. When they checked the brewed tea, pesticides showed up there too. So here's what we want to know. Are those teas still on the shelf? To find out, we pack up 10 of the same popular teas tested by the CFIA and test them too. Meanwhile, at our tea party, the guests are surprised to hear something may be steeping in their brew.
It's going to not cross a lot of people's minds that there may be something else other than just the tea leaf in there.
But just wait till they hear our results. Nearly all the teas we test have pesticide residue, half of them with amounts exceeding maximum levels set in Canada. Some with a pesticide being banned worldwide. Turns out, when reading some tea leaves, there's a lot between the lines. Tetley sells more tea than any other brand in Canada. Our test finds 16 pesticides, with 3 over the allowable limit.
Whoa! Yeah. I think the fact that it says pure on the bottom there too, that's a bit questionable.
But it's our next result that tea partiers find even harder to swallow. I don't know if you've ever seen this one.
Sure, Uncle Lee's.
Yeah, Uncle Lee's, yeah.
Uncle Lee's Legends of China Green Tea. Inside there we find a whopping 22 pesticides, with 6 over the limit.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that there's that much contamination.
So what do the makers of Uncle Lee's Legends of China Green Tea think? We head to Los Angeles and meet company Vice President James O. Young. Mr. O. Young.
Tom, nice to meet you. If you drink tea, regular tea, I don't care is what brand is that. The fact of life, this agricultural product does have pesticides.
So take the bad with the good, he says. But environmental lawyer David Boyd says, not good enough. He's appalled that some of the same teas we tested show so much pesticide residue years after Canadian officials first uncovered the problem.
It raises a red flag and suggests that no adequate enforcement action has been taken.
Turns out Uncle Lee's was one of the teas being monitored by the CFIA. That's news to O. Young. Several years ago, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency tested Legends of China tea. They found several pesticides as well. Did they say anything to your company about that?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all. Because if we would know that, we will already start jumping on it.
As for the other teas, Tetley says they stand by theirs and their own testing, showing it's compliant. And the association that represents tea companies tells us the industry is working to make production safer for both producers and consumers. Something at least one tea maker's already doing. There is some good news. Red Rose Orange Pico, no pesticide.
Wow!
And Sig...
I would
Tells you that you can actually grow it without resorting to it.
And be commercially viable.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says the amounts of pesticides found in their tests and ours are not a health concern. But David Boyd isn't buying it.
I have a really difficult time putting any confidence in those kinds of assertions, particularly when we're finding products with upwards of 20 pesticides on a single product.
So we say, CFIA, you're busted for allowing teas on store shelves that violate Canadian limits for pesticides.
Right, so these fucking devils, man, right? They said that the amount of pesticides found in those teas. Matter of fact, let me bring it back. Let me bring it back to exactly what the fuck was said.
Commercially viable.
Tells you that you can actually grow it without resorting to
And be commercially viable.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says the amounts of pesticides found in their tests and ours are not a health concern.
Okay, the Canadian Food Agency said that the amount of pesticides found in their tests and in both tests is not a health concern. That's bullshit. Because, you know, if you remember the video I did a few weeks back with with Monsanto and the conspiracy to, you know, with the pesticides everywhere and the chemicals and the plastic, the conspiracy, which is not a conspiracy, is a fact, to lower our testosterone, get our hormones out of balance. All right. You know, this stuff, you know, it throws our hormones off balance. It disrupts our thyroid, our endocrine system. Okay, lowers our testosterone, raises estrogen. We be all messed up, out of whack, you know. And it's funny because, you know, a lot of people say, you see, people don't, I mean, people are waking up. Some people are waking up and they're starting to see, you know, how everything is connected and, you know, just how deep things are going more and more, especially after Trump is in office. Everybody shit in their pants, or at least those that, you know, didn't want to, you know, wanted to turn a blind eye. And there's still mad people blind, but point is that, you know, people don't, you know, they'll drink the tea, whatever they know is good for you, because we've grown up knowing that tea is good for us on some level, but they don't really know how deep how dirty, okay, things can be behind closed doors with these companies that are just trying to make quick dollars, okay? You know, so just to skim through the article, it says the CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, investigated some of the most popular international beverage companies like King Cole, Tetley, Lipton, which we drink a lot. Twinings is something that I have, you know, and now I'm not gonna fuck with it no more, because, you know, they're contaminated. Signal, I never had that. Uncle Lee's Legends of China, they just said that. It said, alarmingly, the CBC found that the level of toxins contained in at least half of the tea brands exceed the legal limit. You know, and the worst offenders, King Cole and Uncle Lee. Okay, and so it says here in the article, ensuring you are safe from the harmful chemicals or pesticides found in teas does not mean necessarily quitting your tea drinking habit. You know, it says try switching to white tea since it's made from young leaves, and I'll get into the different, you know, categories of teas in another video, Lord willing. Since white tea is made from young leaves, because there's a fermentation process with respect to the different teas. You know, you got white tea, black tea, green tea, red tea, okay? And white tea has the least amount of fluoride, okay? Ensure you either brew your tea from scratch or you buy loose leaf tea. So when you get these packaged teas, okay, these packaged teas, because of the processing, you know, speeding everything up, bagging everything up, making everything in mass amounts, okay, is a lot of work. So everything is quick to make a dollar. You know, so there's few brands that you can trust. So you got to be careful. You know, that's why it's better to grow it. You can buy it locally grown with no pesticide. If you know who you're growing it from, you know, you buy in bulk. But, you know, the loose leaf is usually better. You know, of course, go organic and choose a non-GMO certified brand of tea. You know, and, you know, when you fill it out, you do your research to the best of your ability, you know. And like I said, ultimately, really, whatever you get, you pray over it, okay? You pray to the Lord. You bless that tea, bless your herbs, you know, and you know, that's your ultimate. The knowledge and wisdom is the stability of our times, all right? So remember that, Akim and Nakwath. Let's see here. It says check the list of ingredients, making sure no GMO ingredients or added flavors are included. Okay, when you got added flavors, natural flavors, that's fishy shit. Okay, because you don't know what those flavors are. What's the source? Is it GMO? Does it contain fluoride? You really don't know. Be extremely careful and particular when ordering tea while eating at a restaurant, since most of these establishments use tea brands known to contain high levels of pesticides. And again, why do you not want the pesticides? Well, like I did in my last video with Maca, you know, the point is to balance out your hormones. The point is to maintain the best possible health through the spirit, even though we're in this hell. But if you're putting things in your body like maca, right, to balance on your hormones, and then you're putting other things unknowingly or knowingly that cause imbalance, right, and disrupt your hormone balance, right, then, you know, you're basically going nowhere. So, you know, just be careful, man. The pesticides, you know, is important, because that's where these devils, man, use the pesticides and everything, and they got it all in the food. You know, it's basically they're waging war on us, man. But through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, we still been multiplying exponentially. The elect are waking up, and they ain't gonna stop a damn thing. Okay, and then it says here, know the correct brewing know the correct brewing times for different types of teas. Okay, because the different teas may need more steeping time. You know, like, you know, black tea says you steep for 3 to 5 minutes. White teas 2 to 3 minutes. Oolong 4 to 7. Herbal teas for 5 minutes or more. You know, there's different steeping times because there's different levels of you know, how delicate it is, the extraction rate. Okay. This says a list of bad teas that are safe, which some of these, you know, we mess with. It says red rose. I don't know red rose. Numi tea, not really familiar with that. Reishi tea, that comes in a tin can. It's beautiful tea. Eating organic, I mess with. Organic stash, I've had. Choice organic teas, which, you know, we got at the job, which is awesome. 2 leaves, I believe I've had it before. I may or may not have a box. Organic Tazo, mess with that as well. And organic traditional medicinals, one of my favorite brands. Organic traditional medicinals that I mess with, you know. So yes, brothers and sisters, you know, step your tea game up, you know, but know what you're getting. You know, let me bring out a scripture real quick, because you got to remember, man, that the earth is in the hands of the wicked, you know, Job 9:24. But Jeremiah 51:25 says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, save the Lord, which destroyest all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. Okay? And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord. Okay? And the ones that destroy, the destroying mountain is Mount Edom. Okay, these Edomites that destroy all the earth, and the Lord is going to judge you, man. You know, the Lord is going to judge Monsanto, going to judge you, Bill Gates, you know, all these other assholes and corporations, you know, that are destroying the earth. Okay, starting with you Illuminati faggots. Okay, you know, with that being said, Kal Halal, Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elder apostles of GMS. Salutations to the brothers throughout the 4 corners of the earth, pushing his word in sincerity and truth, to the tabernacles of David that shall be risen as in the days of the old. Okay, you know, put some life in your life. You know, stay spiritual. You know, you don't always got to pick up, you know, the bottle of alcohol to relieve some stress. You know, drink some tea, but be careful what you get. You know, be circumspect of what you get, and remember to pray over your herbs, you know, and stay tuned for the next episode. Shalom.